Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Programming with a Purpose. So today I am going to discuss some of the tips and tricks that can help you land good jobs on Upwork. So let's get started. So this tutorial is specific for the developers, but other people who belong to like content writing and other financial domains on Upwork can also take help from them, but they just need to tweak all the different steps that I discuss here according to their domain of expertise. So the first step is basically registering yourself on Upwork and complete all the relevant information that Upwork demands from a freelancer. Apply all your experience and expertise in the profile section, and your profile should be 100% completed. Once you are done with this step, then there are certain things to set. First is availability badge. It is introduced about a year back and I do not consider it that important, but if you are confused about it, you can spend 6 connects and turn it on. But I do get offers from the clients even if it's off in my case. Hours per week depends on your availability. Again, how many hours you want to spend working as a freelancer on Upwork. So mine are more than 30 hours per week. Then there is profile visibility. I've set it to public, but you can also set it to basically public to Upwork users, or private. Do not set it to private because obviously it will limit your search for the clients. And then job preference, I have set it to open to contract to hire roles. That means that if a contract is converted to full-time, I am available for it, but it is not basically a binding on you. If you set it and you do not want to continue working full-time with the client, you can deny them at a later stage. So I would recommend setting it to this option, open to contract to hire roles, for your job preference. And this is all for the profile setting. If there is anything else that changes over time, do update your profile according to it, because obviously the client filtered the profiles according to all the newer features that are being added for the support to the client and freelancers. So do update your profile according to the new changes introduced by the platform. So the next step is basically finding the right job. After the completion of your profile, go to Find Work tab, and there you can see a lot of jobs depending upon your area of expertise. You are going to filter the jobs depending upon your needs, like the budget and your level of expertise, like you are a beginner, intermediate or expert level, and then how many hours you want to basically need to complete that project, and the budget. The two main important things are basically the budget and the time duration. Once these two things are set, after that you are basically move on with the next step, where you are going to filter the client depending upon their feedback. If there is no feedback and they are basically new to Upwork, you can consider them if you are a beginner or at intermediate level, or you find the job post very interesting, or it will add a good value to your profile. Otherwise, do not consider those clients, because they can cause an issue in future with all the dealing and setting the scope of the project and all those things. But otherwise, if the client has a verified profile and they have a payment verified and they have spent a certain time, then go for the review. And if they have good reviews, there is no other thing that will stop you considering their job offer. Then go there and start applying to that job. Now what you are going to add there, I'm going to discuss next. So you click on apply to the job, and after that a screen will appear where you are going to set some of the settings. The first one is basically propose with a specialized profile. So I would recommend creating a specialized profile for each of your primary skill. For example, if you are a desktop developer and a mobile developer, you can create 2 entries for it. If you are a game and app developer, you can create 2 entries for it. If you are an iOS developer or Android developer, you can create 2 entries for it. So depending upon your area of expertise, you can divide it into major categories and create profiles according to it. So when you are applying to a job, you can only pass that profile to the user. You're basically the client. So this is a great feature. After that, there are job details. Read the job details again very carefully that you fulfill all the criteria. After that, go to terms and conditions, set your hourly rate or fixed price, whatever you want to basically suggest to the client, and then move on to the next step and go to basically the bidding option. In the bidding option, you are going to see the people who have already applied to different number of connects depending upon their position. So you can basically apply with a certain number of connects It is up to you if you want to basically go to that bidding scheme, but I would recommend you to use that bidding scheme, because otherwise the clients won't consider you. Consider this thing from the perspective of a client. A client will not go to the 15th or 20th proposal to look for the right candidate. Obviously, the ones who have applied with a certain number of connects do have the confidence of fulfilling the job in the relevant time and in the relevant budget. So I would recommend you bidding for the jobs, but if you are very confident that you are able to complete this job in a proper time and budget, and with like proper at a level, the work you will do is at a certain level, so do apply it according to the bidding scheme. And then there is the cover letter that I am going to discuss next, and it is the most important part of a job proposal. So the next step is basically writing a cover letter. So this is basically a template that I'm going to discuss here step by step, that how you are going to apply for a job. The first is basically your hi and hello and the name of the basically the company or the person. So basically it is the personalized greeting. After that, you are going to basically tell the client in some way that you have read all the requirements and you are basically suitable for the job. So do it in the starting 1 or 2 lines. So basically you can write it that I have read the project description and I really like the idea, and I have created a similar app or something like that, and here is the link of the app. So that will basically one of the major thing that will make you a suitable candidate to be selected for that job. You can add the link, and after that you can basically tell that I'm interested in exploring this type of apps, or I have this much experience relevant to this domain which is closely connected to this, or in some way you are going to basically tell the client that I am the suitable candidate for this job. Then you can do is ask one simple question about the job description, which will tell the client that you have read the description properly. And after that, like all of these 3 things should be in the first 2 or 2.5 lines. Do not exceed 3 lines. After that, share your experience with the technologies that you have worked with. Like suppose I have worked with Swift UI, Swift UI Kit. You can mention those. You can basically tell Objective-C. All of these are relevant to my iOS experience. After that, you can add basically like game development in Unity, which covers both iOS and Android. And then any like native Android or anything that is basically remotely connected to the job. So basically all of your skills that are closely connected to the job will be mentioned first, and then according to the relevance they will be sorted in that order in a numbered list. After that, share some samples of your work in files. If there is some privacy issue that you have worked for certain clients and they do not want to reveal any information related to it, so you can share it in some files. Otherwise, if there is no such issue, you can share live links. I have already recommended you in my previous video. You can create some of the basically project demos and upload them on YouTube, or you can basically share the live links of your app on App Store or Play Store. Or if you have live websites, you can share those links, all of these things. And once you are done with it, your proposal is complete. After that, just write in 2 to 3 lines that how you are different from the other candidates. Like you are a 5-star achiever, or a top rated plus freelancer, a great programmer, and a hardworking person. So add those values that will help to complete this project in time and in scope. So basically, you are a hardworking person, you are a team player, you have great time management skills. If there are timing constraints on the project, make sure to basically assure the client that you can easily fulfill the deadline in the relevant time, and that will help I've read all the requirements and I can easily complete this project as per your requirements. All of this, then thanks, your name, or best regards. So this will complete your proposal. This is all. If you want any other thing that you think is very relevant to the project, you can add it there also. But do consider that the first paragraph, first 2 to 3 lines, and the last 2 to 3 lines should be very powerful and send a strong message to the client that you have read all the job description and you are the most suitable client to complete this job. If there are any budgetary issues, you can also mention those, that it will cost more than your budget, but we can negotiate on it. You can also mention that, and some of the clients are happy to adjust their budget. So that is not an issue for some of the clients, but most of the clients do consider budget as an important thing. So if you want to make it negotiable, then make sure that you are basically all of the skills and everything that is relevant to the project, you are perfect a candidate for that. So once you are done with the proposal, the client will basically send you a message. All the queries and questions should be exchanged and clear everything related to the project before starting off with the actual working on the project. And once it's done, you have completed the project, then do ask the client to share the basically his feedback with you in person on the messages, as well as on the basically on the review tab, because it is very important. I'm going to share some of the snippets of the reviews that I've got, and I'm going to show you which of the reviews are very attractive to my future clients. So there are reviews that involve basically proper 1 or 2 liners for you that are very important and like add a lot of value to your profile for future selection by clients. And then there are some reviews that are basically they just give you stars, and basically they do not have the time or interest to write 1 or 2 lines for you. So do ask the clients if they can write something about you, especially the clients that are individuals and not companies, and you have a good relationship with them over the basically over the duration that you have worked with them over a project. So they are willing to basically write a few lines for you to help you get better jobs in future. So do ask every client explicitly to write you a review once the job is completed. So here we come to the end of the discussion on Upwork tips and tricks. So do not forget to like this video and share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching. And if there are any further topics that you want to cover me related to freelancing, specifically on Upwork, do mention in the comment section. I'll be making some other videos to help the new freelancers as well. So stay tuned for some other interesting content on freelancing and Upwork.